My name is Rhapsody, his name is sneakyteak, and welcome back to the Ladder Streak. How's it going, bud?
It's going awesome. I'm excited for some Ascension 6 Silent. Getting injured.
Weirdly, I said last week that what character would I choose if I was going to choose to play a character that week, and it would have been the Ironclad. This week it is the Silent.
How strange it is that you're perfectly aligned with our play sessions.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it will be the defect next week.
That's the thing that's most incredible is if it were someone else, I would say, okay, I see you, Mr. Television, you know, playing the role, but I think you're serious. I think it's genuine.
100%. I tell you, like my favorite still cycle regularly between all of the characters, defect least, but it's just a nice experience, especially because recently I've been playing some Slay the Spire in my own time, as well as doing the Downfall series. So like I'm getting those wheels turning more commonly because I'm having more experiences with the game. It's a nice experience to have.
I saw that run record and it looks good. Luckily, this is my favorite child, so I'm excited.
So, what your guess for the third offering from Meow was going to be what?
So this is the point to where we start each run damaged, which is the point in which there is a big spike in the value of losing max HP for value. And that's the third slot, right? So if you have gotten at least to the first boss, there are 4 slots, and this is for both of us, but it's for people learning about Niao bonuses as well. The first slot is always some kind of light value. The second slot is some light value. The third slot is a big cost for a big value. So it'll say things like, get a curse, but gain 250 gold. One of the options of the cost is to lose some proportion of your max HP, which is a really big deal, particularly when it's also a loss of current HP. But once you hit Ascension 6, you don't actually lose any current HP when you take this option, which means it doesn't really negatively affect you for those first several floors in most cases. So that's my hope, is lose max HP for gold. And then obviously the fourth slot is trade in your starter relic for a boss relic, which is the biggest trade and highest variance probably.
Yes, definitely. I am going to guess that we're going to get a bad third option. It's going to be gain a curse in order to gain... let's say gain a curse in order to destroy. Delete 2... What's the remove?
Remove 2. Gain a curse to remove 2. Is that even an option?
I don't know if it is.
Those 2 come together?
It seems like that
is pretty brutal.
I'm just going to guess it's going to be bad, but in one of the early question mark spaces, we're going to get the Golden Idol event, and then we're going to lose the max HP, and we're still going to be able to capitalize on the dynamic you're talking about.
Let's go. I want that.
Let's not let Twitch choose the stuff here. I will say
there's
also,
more that we're excited for today too.
I won't say anything then. Lose all gold, remove 2 cards. I like it. Lose all gold, remove 2 cards.
Look at that autumnal pattern. Look at it. It looks so good.
Look at these beautiful swatches. Oh, don't you just feel like you're tasting a pumpkin spice latte under a tree that's dropping leaves directly on your head, don't you?
Yeah, a tree full of high fructose corn syrup. Love this tree. I like that pinky color, actually. I'm falling more in love with it as I look at it more. Your elites are nice. I'm into it.
I kind of like the inversion kind of idea they're supposed to do.
They should stick out a little bit, but not too much, because they're still enemies, right? Digging it. Stuff there at the top.
I don't know.
Well, it's not as rough as you imagined, but I will say, losing gold to remove cards is a pretty tough start for Silent, who really demands to get some damage online. And you can turn that into damage, right? Here's a real thing that we could do. Spend 99 gold and the opportunity cost of the other options to remove 2 defends. I've done that with Silent before, successfully, because you've just increased the proportion of damage in your deck without meaningfully decreasing defense, because you've got a neutralize and a survivor. It's not terrible.
That is like, where I'm leaning.
Merchants? That's where you're leaning?
So the early merchant is over here. There's also another early merchant over here. The possibility of trying to get aggression before going over on this line. Or if we want to be real ham about it, going for 4 elites.
No fires.
First rest is after the third one. We can bail out after the first elite at most.
That's pretty brutal, dude.
I kind of want to do it, though.
How do we live through that?
That would be like going along this path and then deciding by this point if we have any damage.
Yeah.
Maybe, but deciding by this point. That kind of thing. It is a risky path. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it because, frankly, the other two options are not aggressive enough anyway. And I'm not feeling the boss swap here. Silent is, I think, the most difficult boss swap in the game. I think that it's easy to underestimate the power of a bag of prep.
My only small disagreement is in like higher ascensions. The 6 health at the end of every fight is sometimes all the anti-attrition I need as an Ironclad.
Do not mistake, Ironclad is number 2. I think Watcher and Defect take the most naturally. But yeah, it's tough. Interesting, right?
Do we want to do it?
So I'll say this. If we want any hope of going to the left, it is Poison Stab. But it's hard to leave Piercing Wail with Hexaghost at the end.
So it is, but...
I think it's a reasonable pickup. It just saved us life in this health, life in this health. How 2 words? It saved us life in this fight, almost definitely.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Look at it. Look at it go.
Now we're ending up with more damage than defense by a significant margin if we take the Quick Slash, but I do still kind of want it.
What about a Slice? Do you hate it?
No, I don't actively hate it. Why the Slice over the Quick Slash in particular?
So this is so different than I desire to play Silent or have ever played Silent. But like, look at this path.
It's very aggressive.
We need so much damage saturation. Ideally here we would skip, but if we actually really want a chance to take that path, then I do think you're right. I think it's Quick Slash or Slice, and we have to decide which we can take more benefit out of. Quick Slash certainly has the crazy upgrade, but we can't upgrade it.
Can I propose something?
Yeah.
I think Quick Slash is better than Slice in 2 of the elite fights. Gremlin Knob, because if you draw a density of skills in your hand, you want draw so that you can get to your next attack and actually play a full hand. And then also against the second cycle of the Sentinels, because you usually don't have enough cards in hand.
Sentries, yeah, that's true. That's true. And if there's a good chance we're about to take a handful of events, and having more good upgrades in the deck for a potential event upgrade is pretty nice. Although we're going to have trouble with losing life. Okay, Quick Slash is nice. We are going to have trouble blocking through block fights. Hey, here's the thing.
Hey! That'll help.
That does help with the whole block thing. It does. Oh boy.
Now it's time to figure out exactly what we're doing with this pot. Ari getting off it or otherwise.
So I think this next one is the event. It's likely to be a fight anyway, and it gives us more options. Oh, geez.
If we go for this, do we just bail out, take the extra relic here as though it were an elite, and then go for a rest, go for an... we could get a lot of rests out here.
I think that this event makes that correct anyway, because we have 49 health and 37 gold. Oh, yeah. We're going right.
Yeah, there are so many cards that we can even see on this. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know, this ain't so bad. Okay, remove a strike for sure, right? Yeah, we picked up Quick Slash, picked up Poison Stab. 42 health is enough. I think this is a Poison Stab upgrade, but it might be Quick Slash.
Is it not Neutralize? Sentinel is the only downside for Neutralize here, right?
So Power Potion is our answer to Lagu, I guess?
Yeah, you're right.
And Sentries too. I feel like Poison Stab makes us slightly better at Lagu. It's about the same damage as Quick Slash against Gremlin. It's arguably worse than Quick Slash against Tri-Sentries, and Neutralize is kind of bad in both those cases.
Okay. I like it. I am usually so opposed to picking up even a Poison Stab, or even then upgrading it ever.
Yeah.
So,
do we Power Potion here just because it's nasty? It might be worth... Like, throw down an Envenom here, 1,000 cuts, or Noxious Fumes might save us a turn. And not getting... Well, do we ever win in 3 turns? I guess is the big question.
Don't we? We're going to Poison Stab, we're going to throw out a Spike. We're always going to have the ability to use 3 attacks per turn, basically.
48. We should play this Power Pot.
Okay.
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if it's... Okay, so we're not getting shown how much damage 1,000 cuts has contributed to the fight?
We got 3 out of it that turn. We got 3.
Could have gotten 4 if we did it at the start of the turn.
Sure.
Do you want to survive a defend?
This is 2 scaling.
Next hand
and we're
is
not
exactly
getting
confirmed.
Sure. 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 I'm in.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to kill this turn, just defend and kill next turn.
Crap. If we had struck, did we win?
As in if we'd
We had
struck last
struck one
turn?
more last turn.
Yep.
Yeah. That's okay.
But
it was close.
we would have taken... we buffed them, but we also did the... We would have taken 16 that turn. Whereas instead we took 3.
Oh, I meant were we 1 strike away? If we had played 1 more strike instead of instead of the defend plus, right?
Split the middle. Yeah.
Right. But it doesn't end up being that much savings because we didn't get vulned. If this were Ascension 18 Gremlin Knob, that would be a really big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I feel good about playing 1,000 cuts. That it made it easier to block too.
It's a good one. It's a good one, that one.
It's nice to know that it plays a tune. That's one of my favorite things. Some of the relic interactions are very subtle, and they don't need to be in the game. You know, that's a pure just kindness that was offered.
Just a lovely little touch there. A little bit of zhuzh.
I don't think it's possible to skip this piercing wail.
I have a large affinity for picking up the first terror oftentimes. I do like the piercing wail, obviously, because we are lacking defense, but we do have the 2 defense upgraded.
It's true. It's like, if I had to take the cards in the game that can block for you and put them on a scale based on their strength and how often you can put them in your deck, piercing wail would be close to the top. But the terror is if we hadn't just fought Gremlin Knob and we weren't about to upgrade a bunch of cards, I would be all over that terror. It's more of just a context thing, I think.
That's totally fair. I definitely appreciated piercing wail quite a lot myself, and it's also worth considering that we are going to the heart, piercing wail in heart. Oh my god.
Exactly. It's the heart. It's Act 2. It's all of Act 2. Like, think through Act 2 fights. Which Act 2 fight is piercing wail not an efficient block card?
None of
Snecko?
them. No.
Snecko. Literally
Snecko,
Snecko.
maybe.
That's it. Maybe Snecko, and Snecko has a vulnerable, which makes it better. So even in the boss fights, it's quite good.
Even useful against the shelled parasite on one of its turns, the 7x2.
Yep. Birds exist. Cultists exist. Tri-slavers exist. Gremlin Leader, multi-attack. Book, multi-attack. Yeah. Act 2 block.
I kind of want the max HP here. I'm not super confused by anything.
100% agree.
Cool.
100%. Not even close in my eyes.
Just did want to take the... Oh my god. Frozen egg, mummified hand.
What's happening?
Okay. Hang on. So we have piercing wail, quick slash, and neutralize that still kind of want an upgrade, but none of them are desperate. Do we maybe want to peel out this way? Because we're guaranteed to see a power when we go into that shop. Unless it's rare, we can buy it. And then we get 3 fights. Or do we just want to peel out here, only get 2, and then the elite?
So this is actually a really interesting question, and here's why. I don't think that this deck consistently beats Hexaghost yet. And so when we go left, we're basically saying, or rather when we go right, which was my intuition actually, was to go to the right, hit the fire, hit the fight, hit the question mark, hit the fire, hit the elite. This is a nice path. We get one more relic. It's fairly safe. We get to upgrade quick slash and neutralize. It's like a good path.
Yep.
But if we don't pick up a poison card or a decent power from that path, I think we die to Hexaghost. Whereas if we go left, we have a chance to hit this shop and fairly guarantee. But I think the overall strength of the left path is less upgrades and no terminating elite, which we really like because Hexaghost so punishes health on turn 2, right?
Are we comfortable saying that in 3 fights there will at least be 1 card that will assist us?
I mean, I'd like to think that the answer to that is yes. We literally only need 1 deadly poison to win the Hexaghost fight. You believe?
Let's find it. I believe.
Cool.
It's going to be here. It's going to be in Noxious Fumes. It's easy.
Oh, huge.
Okay.
Prepare for the vulnerable.
I just...
Yeah, we had a bunch of block cards coming. It was great.
Super aggressive opening hand means that I had a super defensive next hand with this deck at the very least. Right,
no, I think that's a great read. This is one of the things I like to talk about in Slay the Spire is...
Ooh, that's a little bit.
Oh, okay, I actually do like this Infinite Blades, I think. Well, I'm not going to say that I love it, but it sure is linear scaling damage.
Mm-hmm.
And
it
that's
sure
the kind
is
of thing that we're looking for.
Energy independent on the first turn. Makes something else cost 0.
Yep, and we have extra cards. I think we take it.
Right.
You Quick Slash here? Or is it Neutralize? Oh, we already did Quick Slash last?
Yeah, Quick Slash was the previous one.
Yeah. I agree, I'm in. Ooh.
Oh, gotta love that Quick Slash doing that there.
Look at that, just deaded.
In fact, we'll just make this a little easier on ourselves. Do that.
If we can, I'd like to Poison Stab the Wazard.
Mm-hmm.
But while you're solving this turn,
yeah, I'm gonna go
make the point. Okay, just to make the point that I was making before.
Yes.
One of the things that's really cool as you watch people play Slay the Spire is, for all the things we talk about, and we narrate our plays a lot, I think, Raps. But there's a lot that's just kind of an intuition we've built up, right? Like, you didn't have to look at the deck there to know your next hand was very defensive. Because our deck is small, and you drew all of our attacks on turn 1. And so you knew very quickly and intuitively what the right play to make there was. But that play line was influenced by 2,000 hours of practice.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. I was talking about it recently in terms of how I feel I approach learning games. And oftentimes, especially if I'm doing it off camera and I'm not actually commentating it to someone and I'm not necessarily trying to work through it logically, I just gain a huge amount of experience. I'll play like 100 hours, 200 hours, something like that of the game. And then from that, I will start getting gut feelings and intuition and those kinds of things. And those are just experience in the back of my mind saying, hey, you've done this before and it worked out like this, and giving me a little bit of a feeling in that direction. And then I usually work backwards from that to create like a blank set of standard operating procedures that I then start the new cycle with. And then I start another 200 hours with that standard operating procedure.
It's kind of like a diverge and converge, or like an expand and contract, right? You go wide and you just grind out a bunch of experience, and then you take all that and you collapse it in and crystallize it into some heuristics. And then 100%. You grind out a bunch of experience, and yeah, that's sweet. Big agree.
I want that Cloak and Dagger. We are like 1 defend short of where I currently want to be. We don't really have too much difficulty possibly upgrading it at the rest in 2 spaces time. And also, we're currently leaning towards having some shivs in the deck. I'm not saying that we're a shiv deck, but I'm saying that we might be able to capitalize on some of the things that shivs do. For instance, obviously, Shuriken, Kunai, but 1,000 cuts? I don't know.
I think I like it for 2 reasons. One, this deck, look at this deck. This is so many upgrades in Act 1. What do we want to upgrade here? Like, Piercing Wail doesn't normally need one. It's such an efficient block. Not to say I'm not going to take it if it's offered, but it would be nice to have a card that we're pretty excited to upgrade. Certainly Cloak and Dagger is one. Having a higher block density benefits us in both Lagavulin and in Tri-Sentries here.
A lot of the things that work well with the extra shivs that we would get are also powers that will come pre-upgraded and make other cards cost 0.
The big thing that makes me nervous, and the reason why this wasn't a snap pick, is right now I'm looking at Poison Stab as the only card alongside Infinite Blades, which meaningfully advances our Hexaghost fight. But we also have an attack potion that maybe we get to save, and I do think that Cloak and Dagger expands the duration of the fight, so I think it's good. I like it here. I like it.
All right. And here's where we find Predator. It's just going to be here.
This is interesting.
Definitely open with the Poison Stab.
Oh, yeah. It begins.
So it begins. Gotta throw out the... Oh, yeah. Oh, you
Very worth.
You didn't have to, but I'm so glad you did. I love when you get the 2-turn neutralize on the first turn of the Lagavuln's attack. It just
feels good. I would play that Poison Stab, yeah. For sure.
Warms
Doesn't that feel good, the Poison Stab upgrade? It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it can be just enough.
Yeah, I'd definitely been undervaluing it. There was a long period of time where, like, I wouldn't upgrade Noxious Fumes. This is very early on. I was extremely early on, right?
No,
back
forgiven.
when Venomology was in the game, right? Instead of Alchemize.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But it took someone writing an essay in my comment section about how much one poison just matters for it to really, like, click and completely change my mind.
Yep. These are the kinds of things to where just drawing the curve can really help. Oh boy.
Hey, Teak.
Hey, Raps.
You want to take a Masterful Stab for damage?
Do I want to? Pretty late in Act 1 to take a Masterful. It's literally for Hexa here.
It would
I do think it's
yeah.
I think it's Master or Dagger Spray, and we can upgrade Dagger Spray. Now, Dagger Spray has the downside of not being free, but it has the upside of being very relevant against birds. I think we're basically riding on this attack card and the attack potion anyway.
Yep.
And I think that Dagger Spray gets us there about as much as Masterful Stab does, and I would much rather have a Dagger Spray. Yeah. But I had I not thought about that for 30 seconds, I would have clicked on Masterful Stab. I agree. We just need damage right now, right?
Yeah. I think I have the terror built up in my mind to the point that I'm happy for that. Do we still take the Dagger Spray upgrade over the Cloak and Dagger?
I kind of like the Cloak and Dagger upgrade. It's on a single target, like the same amount of damage, and it is better for birds. It's, you know, I think this is good. We want to upgrade the Dagger Spray, certainly, but oh my gosh.
Gotta love that.
Okay, I think we should play the attack pot, too. I do think we're going to need it, and if it's a really solid attack...
Unload. Just play it at the end of the hand. It's just one energy cheaper for the same
you're right,
damage.
and it gets rid of burns, actually. It's
oh, I wasn't even thinking about that, but that is actually way bigger of a point.
Yeah. Might be just enough.
Do we just save this for the next one? Because this... We can only take 7 this turn, but this can block a total of 12 on a different turn.
It could be the thing.
If we wait long enough, it can block like 36.
That being said, if we get that full extra 7 points of block this turn, then we could just full block. I think you're right. I think we defend. I think we leave the Piercing Wail in the deck. I think you're right.
Cool.
Because there's 2 big turns that Piercing Wail will be very impactful for.
It has a lot more time to be relevant later.
It's nice that the deck is hitting this neutralize.
Yeah. Oh, God. It would have just sucked if that was in the bottom of the first cycle. So much. I mean, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable about this. We're constantly getting the Poison Stab as far away from the next as possible. So I'm going to Poison Stab Quick Slash, trying to put it in the next cycle.
Love it. Love it. That's a great redraw. Yeah. Smart.
Just go for the defend.
I think that may have just made the fight, actually.
Ooh, getting into the next draw, especially. I feel very, very comfortable now.
We are decently likely to have to block through the 6x6. But I think if we're at all 22 health here, we've got a good chance. And with the Piercing Wail and the redraw, yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, Unload. How you doing?
It performs so well.
Did.
No, why? I mean, we're fine, but no, why?
Oh yeah, and we're still at 5x6. It's not 6x6 yet. Would you look at that?
I mean, how much damage? I have so much damage left in the deck. It's the defend.
Dude, I think if this were Ascension 20 Hexaghost, we died.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad it weren't, and I'm glad we played that attack pot. Hey, but we knew that when we mapped, right? When we mapped. Ooh, there's the damage.
Dude, this is a double strike too.
That's a pretty solid Envenom, man. We should click it.
So
yeah,
you called your shot last ladder streak, I think. You mentioned
Envenom
your first
4-0.
pick it. Let's do it.
I think it's very good here. And Cunning Potion too. Oh my. So we've removed 2 defends and a strike and upgraded defends, which significantly reduces the value of Pandora's.
However, if we get any powers, they're instantly upgraded.
It's true. There's some consideration here. Hear me out.
Oh, please.
Some consideration here for Empty Cage.
Okay, walk me through your consideration for it.
Okay, now I just came off of a collaboration, as I said, to where we did some Ascension 20 runs with Small Deck Challenge, where you cannot beat the heart with more than 20 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm looking at right now is Mummified Hand, which it's easy to underrate because it's not a boss relic, but it is. This is a boss relic in terms of energy generation. Right now, we have 2 powers in the deck. Removing cards increases the number of hands that have a full extra energy, which is a boss amount of energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right now, if we remove 2 strikes, we don't meaningfully reduce the damage of the deck because we get to Envenom and our Dagger Spray and our Poison Stab faster, but we do increase the consistency significantly, and we increase the saturation of those big blocks. I actually really like it here.
I love it.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna pitch it. I was gonna pitch the
No,
Runic
it's
Dome.
a good one. It's a really good one, and you won't hear me do that very often because of the redundancy with which I build decks. But this is the perfect time to take an Empty Cage.
It's gonna be the perfect time to see exactly how it works out in the next video, linked in the description down below. Hope to see you there.